The fifth review report of a democratic South Africa was handed over to the president. The document takes stock of the country's journey over the last 30 years of democracy. Receiving the report, President Ramaphosa said it reflected both the challenges and gains under democracy.
The story of 30 years of democracy contained in this report is an honest and critical appraisal. It presents both light and shade, both progress and challenges. It is very honest. It is a vital reference for anyone who wants to understand the last 30 years and for everyone who wants to look into our future.
President Ramaphosa said as much as 30 years seemed like a lot, the period was just a drop in the ocean. He acknowledged that for millions of South Africans, the promise of 1994 has not yet translated into the meaningful change that they seek and deserve. He further said government would continue to work to resolve the challenges that are holding back the country's progress.
Our goal is a better South Africa, a transformed South Africa, a South Africa that leaves no one behind. The story of 30 years of democracy contained in this report is an honest and critical appraisal.
And he presented a contra-review to statements that South Africa has become a failed state.
People often say, oh, South Africa is becoming a failed state and so forth. And sometimes it is said by very highly learned people. And they fail to understand that this democracy that we put together, inspired by the Freedom Charter, is a robust democracy. It has got institutions which are there to support our democracy. We've got an independent judiciary. We've got a robust civil society. Yeah, that may not have been put together by the Constitution, but yes, the precepts of our Constitution have enabled a robust civil society to be set up. And when South Africans are fed up and they don't want anything, they will rise themselves and say, this is our democracy, we are not going to allow you to mess up with our democracy.
The president further said South Africa's democracy is backed by a strong constitution with organs of states that protect the democratic process and the people.
Our constitutional fabric was challenged in July 2021. It was another important shock absorber that held our country up. The people. The people said, there are people fomenting violence and unrest. We are not going to allow them to destroy our democracy. And they stood up and said no.
As the country marks 30 years of democracy, another milestone beckons. The 7th general elections are around the corner. Many say they are as important and interesting like the ones of 1994. Ntanta Katlani, SABC News, Johannesburg.